Hello, and welcome to Unveiling Locomotives. I'm your conductor, Intelligent Bean, and enjoy the ride. 10751 appeared in the 31st Railway Series book, Gordon the High-Speed Engine, in the first story, Gordon the High-Speed Engine, by Christopher Audrey. 10751 is a British Rail Class 127 diesel multiple unit railcar with a blue and yellow livery and has a bow configuration. 10751 is seen when Gordon arrived at Barrow in Furness with the express. 10751 had broken down, taking Enthusiast to Carlisle. Gordon was the only available engine and brought the Enthusiast to Carlisle instead of 10751. 10751 isn't the engine's real number, but rather its head code. 10751 was never given a name. The BR-127s were standard-gauge, multiple-unit diesel hydraulic railcars with a bow configuration built by Derby Works in 1959. The 127 class was used for commuter services, almost exclusively on the London St Pancras to Bedford line. BR-127s had a top speed of 70 miles an hour, or 113 kilometers an hour. They had a power output of 476 horsepower, or 355 kilowatts, per power car. They had a DMS weight of 40 long tons, 41 tons, or 45 short tons, a TSL weight of 30 long tons, 30 tons, or 34 short tons, or a TS weight of 29 long tons, 29 tons, or 32 short tons. BR-127s had a car length of 64 feet, 19.51 meters, a width of 9 feet and 3 inches, 2.82 meters, and a height of 12 feet and 4.5 inches, 3.772 meters. 127s were powered using C8NF-LH engines supplied by Rolls-Royce Limited, formerly Sentinel Wagon Works, now Rolls-Royce Holdings plc. The class had hydraulic transmission and was fitted with a blue square gear selector using 123D setup. The class was able to work with mechanical transition units because of this. However, the driver had to remember to use 123D instead of just selecting D. An incident occurred when a driver forgot he had a mechanical unit on the rear of his train, which could only be driven in fourth gear. He burned out the transmission of the rear unit while driving to the next station. This incident prompted BR to replace the blue square gear selectors with a unique variation of red triangle gear selectors. However, 127s could now only be driven in fourth gear. The 127s were in service from 1959 to 1993 and considered first-generation BR diesel multiple-unit railcars. The 127s replaced the aging steam locomotives and carriages that BR was so desperate to eradicate from regular service on main and branch lines. 127s were constructed from 1958 to 1959. 30 sets or 120 locomotives of the class were constructed. 3 sets or 8 locomotives of the class are preserved. The remaining 27 sets or 112 locomotives of the class were scrapped. They had DMBS fleet numbers of 51591 through 51650, TSL fleet numbers of 59589 through 59618, or TS fleet numbers of 59619 through 59648. The 127s were built and operated in sets of 4 cars, usually. The class successor was the BR Class 317 electric multiple units. BR Class 127s were used quite a bit and were quite reliable engines. When the Bedford line was electrified and operated by Class 317s, the 127s were under threat of complete withdrawal by 1982. Delays with the new 317 class saved the 127s, and they worked in service until 1983. The 127s ran operations on the Gospel Oak to Barking line, first running 3-car formations and eventually 2-car formations from November 1983 with just 2 power cars. The units ended service running the line and were then stored at Carlisle awaiting scrap, purchase, or preservation. In 1852, BR took 22 Class 127 power cars out of storage, including the first Class 127, and turned them into 11 two-car parcel units. The rebuilt 127s were fitted with roller shutter doors and renumbered 55966 through 987. The rebuilt 127s were based at Chesper Depot and removed from service once again in 1989.